Hello everyone, I'm the Zodiac Lord, and yeah, this is a bit of a different video, isn't it? But when is it not with me? So I know I tend to ramble, but let me get to the point. A while back, I was sent this nifty little thing called a TourBox Neo, a little editing console that is designed to help you with things like photo and video editing, as well as the art process on computers. They reached out to me a while back to give it a review, and I figured since they were so nice, not only to send me a free sample, but also put up with me taking an absurd amount of time to make this video due to graduation, going home for the summer, and also, you know, a hurricane. I figured I could at least make the video. Now, I do want to clarify, full transparency, yes, they did reach out to me. Yes, they did send me a free one. Yes, they did give me an affiliate link that I make a small commission on. And yes, I am going to technically consider this video sponsored, even though they're not directly paying me for this review. However, I would like to consider myself an honest person, so I have spent a couple weeks actually using this little thing so I can give you my honest thoughts about what I like and what I don't like and whether or not you might find this useful. Yes, you, the person watching this right now. But I just want to give you that kind of that transparency and the fact that yes, technically they did send me a free one, and yes, I do get money with an affiliate code and a coupon code and all of that, but they are not paying me to say the words I'm saying now. So I am going to try and make this as honest as possible, but please do feel free to take me with a grain of salt. Take my word as you will. All right, first things first, can I just say that I love this packaging? This has nothing to do with the actual device itself. I just kind of really like this packaging. Ignore the actual damage and stuff on the edges of it and things and smudges on it. That's not how it came. I promise. That's just me because I was lugging it around a bunch of places. So, that's on me. Don't blame the company. That's just me. That's just my fuck up. But I legit put this thing back in the box so I could unbox it for y'all and just fucking look at this. There's no need to just rip anything open. It just slides right off. It's really satisfying and really nice. And it also has these handy little bags. It comes in these little handy bags. And if you're like me and you like hoarding the boxes you got stuff in because it helps with transporting it later sometimes, this is the perfect box for it. Don't even need to use this. Need to keep the box. You could just keep the little bags. And I know most of y'all don't really care about this stuff, but I find it kind of fun, and I also find it kind of nice when I feel like I don't have to throw something away. Just, environment, I guess. So here is the actual editing controller itself. I'll hold it up to the camera for you so you can get a good look at it. This is the actual TourBox Neo. And as you can see, it is 110% a mad scientist's fucking dream. I mean, seriously, look at all of these little fucking dials and buttons and just all these little things you can click. There's a button on the side here. So many fucking dials and things like that. The small child in me got so excited when I opened this up because it was just I want to push all the buttons. It's also only really two pieces, the actual console itself and then also the wire that it comes with that you plug into the computer, which makes it very convenient and easy to set up. If you're like me and you have tried using a Cintiq in the past, you might know the absolute hell of wires you have to deal with in order to plug it in. This is just literally, you plug it in the box and you plug the box into your bigger box and it goes on the computer. Hey, what do you know? Which is very convenient for people like me. Now, there is one thing you need to actually get the keybinds and the buttons to actually work with your computer, and that is this handy little piece of software right here, which you can download at their website. Don't worry, the box and the TourBox itself comes with instructions on where to go to download this and what to download. And in case anyone is worried, while the little TourBox itself is not actually free, I promise you the software is 100% free to download, and it means you'll always be able to have their most up-to-date software totally free, no purchase necessary. So long as you have the console, you're good. Speaking of their website though, you also have loads, and I do mean loads of presets you can download for whatever application you're using. While it comes with things for Adobe Photoshop and Premiere by default, if you're like me and you use things like DaVinci, fear not. They have presets for those for you too. And if those don't satisfy you, guess what? You can customize all of the buttons and dials and key commands they're linked to your heart's content. And personally, it's very easy to pick up on and very simple to tweak things as you like. I'm not gonna do a full tutorial, just know it's pretty easy to play around with and figure out. This is coming from someone who like hates key binding and just like hates having to learn that stuff or even set stuff up. It's really difficult for me. So doing this is just, it's pretty easy to put 2 and 2 together. So if I can do it, you probably can do it too. All right, enough of that. What the fuck does this thing do that actually helps with the editing process? Well, I'm glad you definitely asked that question because I'm going to tell you regardless. So like I said, I've been using this thing for a few weeks now, and while there's definitely been a bit of a muscle memory hurdle to get over because I'm just not used to using something like this, I can say I have liked using it. It has made editing feel a little less clunky. And it's just something personal to just me. It's just made it feel a little bit smoother than it has before for me sometimes, especially with just certain little features that were getting me, like, throwing a wrench into my grind a little bit. So while I don't have all of these keybinds set up, like I don't have anything for these buttons, I don't have much for, nothing for that button, things like that. I do want to show you the kind of keybinds I do have set up for my DaVinci stuff. So you can kind of see my current workflow with this and what it can kind of do. The first few things I can show is just like this little dial here is my zoom in and zoom out type thing, which is just very nice because while working at editing, sometimes you want to see like the whole clip as a whole, see what kind of everything looks like, and then sometimes you need to zoom in to specific parts to check it out, things like that. This button acts as like my space bar, so I can just easily click that, start and stop the recording and things like that. The big ones here, I think the ones that I've gotten the most use out of at the moment are these two. These are my scrolling dials. This one is my major, like my big jump scrolling dial. This goes through, like, every movement is like a second, so I can just take this and just scroll as fast as I want across things. This would not be so much like if I wanted to get all the way over here, I would just click over here. But this would be more for like, if I wanted to get to the beginning of that clip, I could just do that. Just a quick way to scroll and do big jumps and whatever you need to do by every second. This one is my more minute thing. This one scrolls just very tiny, like this goes every millisecond, which means I can easily get to just like that specific moment I want to get to either make a cut or throw in a picture or whatever it is I need to do or whatever it is I need to edit it for. So that's for like more precise stuff. I should also say, if you can't tell, you can push these, like press these dials as buttons, kind of like you can for your mouse wheel. Which means that like even the buttons you see here, you can even do even more because each of like pushing these dials can act as a different kind of command and things like that. So there's a lot you can do. Another big thing I have is this little tool over here on the side. This acts as my kind of delete button. So basically what it was like, say I wanted this clip deleted. Say I was like, oh, I don't want this, I need to cut this out of my video. I can just click the clip and delete it. And I want to close the timeline, I can just delete that. But let's say, of course, I realize, oh shit, I didn't want to delete that. These buttons I have set up as my undo and redo, so I can easily just undo it or redo it, whatever I want to do. The last one I have is a bit more personal to me. This is not at all the default DaVinci setup. This is just for me. So on the side here, you can see I have my inspector open. The inspector is where you can like zoom in and zoom out of clips. You can change the position of things. You can rotate images around. You can do your pitches, your yaws, you know. You can flip things. But the issue is that every time I would come over to my media pool and I would add in like a new picture, like if you've seen Strange House on Sparrow Hill, you've seen how like I'll throw in images and things sometimes. Anytime I would do that, there was a big chance that the inspector would just close by itself because they want to show me the thing over here, which I don't want. I need my inspector open to actually place images and move them around and things. So I just have this little button on the side set up to reopen my inspector. Just saves me a little bit of heartache. It just makes it so a very easy click and fix to reopen it again. Just a weird little thing that's specific to me, no one else, just me. Now, I will be totally honest. When I was first setting it up, I was a little skeptical. It was hard for me to figure out how something like this could like actually make my workflow feel more satisfying. Like that's what they kept telling me, like, oh, this is what it's supposed to do, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, doubt, but I'll try it. You're sending me a free one anyway, I might as well. But now that I've been actually like adjusting to it, while I can't say it makes my progress any faster, that's not really what I'm saying, it's definitely given me a new rhythm that I didn't ever have before. Now, a big thing they talk about and advertise is that while I'm showing the video editing side of this process, I have heard it can also be super handy for art too. Now, I have no way to confirm or deny that because I don't use my computer for art anymore. I use exclusively my iPad. That's why I don't upload speed paints anymore. I can say that from my experience from doing digital art on a computer, I could see how it could make it feel smoother too. Especially like the dials. Like, could you imagine like you have stuff to address like your brush size or your like fucking like brush opacity or like zooming in and out, you know, all that sort of stuff. You have like a button for your color picker or something like that. I don't know. I can't vouch, so do not take my words as like a letter of recommendation, because I don't have the experience, but I could definitely see how this could totally help with like actual art process as well as video editing and stuff like that. I have also considered using it for some more unique stuff too. Perfect example, some of you may know I have a voice modifier now that I've been using mainly for stuff like D&D and just to goof off with friends, but since you could make your own presets, I'm wondering if in the future I could use this as like an easy way to keybind my voices. I know, like, you know, maybe set up some complex keybind, but I link it to one button so I don't accidentally turn it on and off while I'm doing other things. I bet if you played around with presets and keybinds enough, you could totally use it for all sorts of nonsense, which I find kind of cool and fun. I also can't believe I forgot. If you're like me and you've used stuff like Maya and ZBrush and Substance Painter stuff for like 3D modeling and things like that, I'd bet for sure this thing could absolutely be a valuable tool for those kinds of programs, especially fucking ZBrush, because if you've ever used ZBrush, you know it has some funky ass key commands and shit like that. It just has some, it's a little tricky to get used to. I bet you could totally streamline a lot of it with TourBox. I haven't tried. Take it with a grain of salt. Haven't tried it. Didn't have time. It was a last minute thing I didn't think of to try out. But like, I totally bet you could fuck with it and get it to work for stuff like that. So I would say, to summarize my thoughts, I do actually really like that I have this now. I think I'm going to be using it a lot more in the future, especially as I get used to it. While I was skeptical at first, and while there was a bit of a learning curve, and I'm still like adjusting my muscle memory to it, it is oddly fun to fiddle with it, and it's been helping my workflow feel smoother and less tedious. And dare I say, a little bit more like I'm some tech-savvy hacker instead of someone who forgets I can just press Control-V to paste things instead of right-clicking and clicking paste. But you know, that's just me. But if this little thing has piqued your interest, hang on. Let's talk about price, because price is important. Well, the software is free, the hardware is not. The price of TourBox Neo is $169 USD on their website, and global free shipping is offered. Obviously, that's a lot of money, so personally, I wouldn't recommend getting this for any teenagers who are just out there like doing art and video editing and stuff as like a hobby to start with. I would say if you're going to get this or you're interested in this, make sure like you know what you're going to use it for. It's something that you're already doing anyway, whether it's like you're already doing digital art regularly, you've been like you're doing editing or you're making money off of editing. Like make sure you have a proper investment to start with. While I said you could probably use it for tons of shit, maybe at least just have like one hobby picked out like to get it for the purpose of it. I would say if you do have $200 to throw around and you're into anything that I've mentioned throughout this video, it may not be a bad purchase. Like I said, the software and its updates are totally free, and you can use it for all kinds of shit. I've clearly found some things you could use it for, like in my own personal time, and it's certainly made my editing process more fun. But if you're still on the fence and you're not into video editing and you'd rather see how it works in relation to your own fields, whether it's art or photo editing or anything like that, I'll link in the description some of the other reviews that might be able to give you answers more akin to like what your interests are. But I will say though, I do like it, and Christmas is 2 months away, so I will tell you now that in the description there will be a link that you can use to get $10 off of your purchase by entering the code Zodiac, uppercase Z, lowercase everything else. That also gives me a bit of a payout by doing that, so even if you don't need that money off, consider doing it anyway, because it not only makes it just a tiny bit cheaper for you, but it also gives me a little bit of money, so it helps us both out, you know? If you know some artists, video, photo editors, 3D artists, or anyone you might think might like this as a gift, and you have some money to spend, I don't think it makes a bad gift at all. I mean, technically, I got it as a gift by the people asking me to do this review, so, like, I quite like it as a gift, so I don't really think it makes a bad gift. While it is expensive, I do personally think it's not a super crazy price to ask either. It's very much a luxury tool, and honestly, I haven't heard of anything like it. So, you know, I don't think it's a crazy price, especially with all of the shit you could use it for and all of the presets they have on their website and everything like that. I think the asking price isn't too crazy. I'll go ahead and end this review here before it gets any longer, but I hope you enjoyed, and before you go, comments help the algorithm, so tell me some things you think this bad boy could be fun and helpful to use with. Like I said, I could totally use this with my voice mod, but I'd be interested to hear what y'all think. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope if you watched this review that it was fun for you, and I will see you in the next video. Zodiac, out.